Joining us on the line now, Representative Louie Gohmert, Republican from the great state of Texas. And we just couldn't wait to get you on this morning because I know, Congressman Gohmert, you're going to have a few things that you need to say about what's going to happen tonight. The President of the United States is going to take, I can't say to the airwaves, he's going to give a speech that's going to be carried on the cable channels, so the broadcast stations have decided not to run it, and he's going to lay out a plan for amnesty for some 5 million people who are in this country illegally, and he's going to do so without the involvement of Congress. How do you feel about that, Congressman Gohmert?
Well, the president likes to excel, and I think that's what he's going to be able to do because, he has tied Jimmy Carter for having over 92 million that are not working now. I mean, how would that feel for you if you were tied with Jimmy Carter?
Yeah.
Now, if he can go ahead and make 5 million people more eligible now to work, he can put 5 million more American citizens out of work and run that number up to 97 million. Then he's in a category by himself, which is where he likes to be. He doesn't want to be tied.
So you
Carter.
see this all as an attempt for the president to excel at putting people out of work.
Right. He's only tied right now with Jimmy Carter.
I hadn't looked at that way.
Category
Obviously, that's it.
Well, come on, Ryan, would you want to be tied with Jimmy Carter?
No, I would not.
No, you want to strive to get on up there to your own level. And by putting 5 million more Americans out of the workforce, he's there. He's in a category all his own.
He sure is.
And by the way, he will set a record so high. Even de Blasio will have trouble getting there.
Congressman Gohmert, you're a good congressman. To me, a definition of a good congressman is someone who goes back to his district a lot, listens to the people who voted for him, and make sure that they get their business done. And I know you spent a lot of time in the 1st District in Texas.
You got that right.
Here's my question. It seems to me that this move that the president is going to do tonight, it is in response to a constituency that isn't even a valid constituency in the United States of America. Not only do these people not vote, they're not even here legally. Every day they're here, they continue to break federal law. Do you remember a president actually doing a major unilateral action like this to the benefit of people who aren't even supposed to be here, let alone vote?
Well, Ronald Reagan got duped into signing an amnesty agreement in 1986, Simpson-Mazzoli bill, and he would admit if he were here today that was his biggest mistake.
But at least that wasn't unilateral, though. He worked with Congress and he used a constitutional method.
And that's right. He did use the constitutional method, but that's why the president would not be able to do that with the Congress again, because even though most of us weren't in Congress back then, we know it was the Congress duped the president into believing that if he provided amnesty, then they would make sure that all the funding was there for border security,
which didn't happen.
And we no, and so we're about to repeat history by providing amnesty with no border security, and we've seen what that creates.
All right, but let's get down to brass tacks here now. The president is doing something that many people, including you, I'm sure, feel is extra constitutional, outside the boundaries of what the executive branch is supposed to be able to do. He's trying to legislate without involving the legislature. So what are Republicans going to do about it?
Well, that is one of the few areas where we agree with President Obama. I mean, he's the one that said, look, there's some things I can't do. I can't just, sign something and say, okay, all of these people that are illegally here are now legal. I have to work with the Congress to do that.
Well,
the trouble
that's what he
is
said once.
No. He said it about 25 times. He said it over and over and over. I can't do this. I wish I could. I can't do this. And now he's decided, look, we're 2 years out. These guys will never stop me now, so it's okay to act outside the Constitution.
Yeah.
It is outrageous. Americans will be outraged all over the place. But seriously, what about the 5 million that are going to be pushed out of work because you've got 5 million more people who are willing to work
for less?
But you didn't answer my question. What are you going to do about it?
Well, our leaders have said we would go ahead and use the powers of the purse. If we fund all of the government, take care of everything that even Harry Reid wants funded for the government, except we will not fund an unconstitutional, illegal action by the president. Is he really going to shut down the government? I don't think he will. Mm-hmm. And in fact, Josh Earnest yesterday would not come right out and say he would veto the bill if we fund everything except for his unconstitutional illegal amnesty.
Let me ask you this, Representative Gohmert. A lot of people might not know this, but you're a judge as well, and you were the Chief Justice of the Texas's 12th Court of Appeals. You know the law, you know the Constitution. Your governor, Rick Perry, in Texas, suggested yesterday that his state may sue the president because this is an unlawful burden on states. Do you think that is a smart way to go, and would you call on other Republican governors to do the same thing? And is that a better way than just the Congress dealing with the purse strings?
No, I think we've got to use all methods before us, and that is one avenue of relief. Sure, I think it's great if the states are the ones that are going to be devastated by this. I think it's great if they go ahead and pursue the lawsuit. And you just can't tell what this Supreme Court will do. They have been so hypocritical in the majority opinion in the Obamacare case, where it's page 14, 15, Chief Justice Roberts says, hey, the Obamacare mandate, it's not a tax. If it were a tax, plaintiffs wouldn't have standing, we wouldn't have jurisdiction. And then you go over about 40 pages, and then he says, hey, it is a tax, therefore it's constitutional. I mean, this Supreme Court doesn't even have a problem making themselves out to be liars within the same opinion. So it's worth a shot. You never know how the Supreme Court's going to wake up and rule. So I think you got to try that. That's one of the avenues available.
All right. Congressman Gohmert, it's always good to have you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us.
It's always great to be had by you guys.